It started like any other morning at Halifax Harbor. Paperwork, coffee gone cold, and a radar technician trying to explain why an unregistered vessel was cruising toward Pier 9 with no signal, no crew, and no record on file. The harbor supervisor assumed it was another stunt, maybe a movie shoot or a prank. He wrote it down as unscheduled arrival TBD registry and told everyone to get back to work. But when the fog finally lifted, every dockhand on the shift froze. There, quietly bumping against the seawall, was a ship that shouldn't exist. The SS Caledonia, lost in 1934. Perfectly intact, drifting home as if the last 90 years had just been a long, slow turn in the tide. The radio log captured one last phrase, repeating on a dead frequency. Position holding, awaiting orders. Inspection report, Pier 9, filed 6:20 a.m. Boarding team, 4. Initial assessment, abandoned vessel, origin unknown. Deck integrity, stable. Hull markings, SS Caledonia. Registry date, June 1934. Expired. Interior condition, severe corrosion. Cabins preserved. Personal effects visible. Tableware still arranged as if breakfast was waiting. The ship's clock frozen at 11:17 p.m. A single logbook on the bridge, open to its final entry, same date. No human remains, no evidence of boarding. Engine cold, but instruments show residual heat. A crewman joked about 90 years of docking fees. No one laughed. End of preliminary report, filed under unscheduled arrival, pending registry verification. Addendum, handwritten in margin. Ship appears older than it should be. Clock still ticking. Chain of Command Memo, Port Authority, Halifax. Subject, jurisdiction dispute over unidentified vessel, registry SS Caledonia. Coast Guard claims federal authority. Customs claims cargo evaluation rights. Insurance underwriters decline responsibility, citing policy expiration in 1935. 2 agencies requested photographs. 3 requested the removal of those same photographs from official reports. The file circulated for 6 days. Every department passed it upward, until it reached an office that no longer exists on paper. Maritime Records Branch. Last known director retired in 1972. Meanwhile, the Caledonia remained tied to Pier 9, gathering rust, news coverage, and tourists eager to pose beside a ship that sailed out of history. Public Relations Directive issued. Limit photographs. No interviews. Official note added to the file. Ownership pending clarification. Internal Memorandum, Port Authority Operations. Subject, Containment and Custodial Protocol for Vessel SS Caledonia. Effective immediately. No boarding without written clearance. No electrical testing. No press access. All further actions to be coordinated with Maritime Records Division. Except Maritime Records Division was dissolved in 1978. So technically, no one's in charge. A night shift engineer plugged the vessel into shore power for diagnostic testing. Power surge reported. Breaker tripped. Harbor lights flickered for 11 seconds. When restored, the ship's bridge lights were glowing green. Internal cameras recorded nothing, but the ship's logbook had turned a new page. The handwriting matched the entries from 1934. Memo Addendum. Engineer suspended pending review. Vessel remains under impoundment. Public explanation to follow, eventually. And one final note. Please stop calling it the ghost ship. That term is not approved for media use. The harbor at night was a different world. The cranes slept. The tide whispered against steel, and the Caledonia waited. A single security guard made his rounds, boots echoing on wet concrete. He hated that pier, said it always felt colder there, like the air itself didn't belong. He stopped when he heard it, a faint hum rolling out from the ship's hull, not an engine, not machinery, more like a voice pressed through metal. Then lights flickered to life on the bridge, soft green, glowing through fog. And in that glow, he swore he saw movement, a figure, walking slowly across the deck. The man wore an old-style uniform, cap tilted just so. He turned his head, and for a heartbeat, the guard thought he was looking straight at him. When the floodlights came back on, the deck was empty again. They found the guard's flashlight at the edge of the pier, still on, its beam aimed toward the sea, and beyond it, nothing but fog. By morning, the fog hadn't lifted. It rolled through the harbor like breath from the sea itself. The Caledonia sat there, quiet, anchored in mist, a shape barely visible through the haze. Dock workers gathered early, half expecting to see investigators, cameras, someone in charge. Instead, there was no one. No footsteps on the pier, no security tape fluttering in the wind. When the sun finally broke through, the ship was gone. Lines still tied, cleats still bolted down, but the ropes ended in clean cuts, as if something had sliced them perfectly mid-fiber. The water around Pier 9 barely rippled, no drag marks, no debris. All that remained was a faint hum echoing through the metal bollards. Some said it was the tide. Others swore it was the ship, still calling home. That afternoon, a message appeared on the old port frequency, no voice, just static, and a single phrase, repeating through the noise. Position holding, awaiting orders. 2 days later, the port reopened. No mention of the incident, no press briefings. Just a quiet memo. Pier 9 temporarily closed for maintenance. A cleanup crew arrived before dawn. Civilians, not officials. No uniforms, no IDS. They carried clipboards and spoke in low voices, like they already knew what they were looking for. One of them dropped a magnetized sensor over the edge. Just a test, they said. The machine began to hum, low and steady, as if matching a pulse somewhere deep beneath the surface. They pulled it up fast, didn't speak after that. The device was warm to the touch. Inside its case, the readout flickered once, numbers scrambled, then froze at a date. June 9th, 1934. By noon, the crew was gone. The pier was power washed, sealed off, and left to dry in the sunlight. And just like that, 90 years of mystery disappeared under a fresh coat of government gray paint. A week later, a salvage diver was hired to check the seabed below Pier 9. Officially, it was a routine depth survey. Unofficially, they wanted to make sure the Caledonia wasn't sitting just below the surface. He dropped into the gray water just after sunrise. Visibility, 5 feet at best, cold enough to bite through the wetsuit. He followed the guideline down until it brushed against something solid, flat metal, larger than the pier itself. At first, he thought it was wreckage. Then he saw it. A name, faint but legible under a skin of algae and rust. Caledonia. The hull was upright, resting on the seabed as if it had parked itself there. Every gauge frozen, every port sealed. And inside one porthole, movement. A shape shifting just beyond the glass. He leaned closer. It looked like a hand pressing against the inside, leaving a print before fading into darkness. When he surfaced, the boat was gone. No ripples, no bubbles, just open water, and the echo of a voice on his comms that didn't belong to him. The diver never found out who spoke to him. The voice on the comms was calm, measured, and unmistakably human. It said only 3 words: position holding, acknowledged. Then the line went dead. Recovery teams scanned the harbor for weeks, but nothing came back on sonar. No wreckage, no trace of the Caledonia. Just a magnetic signature, faint, constant, like a heartbeat buried in the seabed. Eventually, the port declared Pier 9 structurally unstable. They sealed it off. No one's allowed down there now. But fishermen say when the fog's thick enough, radios still catch a pulse on an old frequency. That same looping transmission. Position holding. Awaiting orders. A ship that vanished for 90 years came home without a crew and disappeared again, like time itself had simply let it pass through. Thanks for watching. This is Truth-ish, where things are mostly true and always strange.